The British Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Sainz gets away well, as does Lando Norris, as does Lewis Hamilton, who's already ahead of Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen into Abbey, takes the lead, and Carlos Sainz, and at the back that's George Russell, out of this race, who's finished in the top 5 in every race this season, but he's out by the time they get to turn 1. Off the track there goes Charles Leclerc, and round the corner Lewis Hamilton battling away with Charles Leclerc, who's on the inside. Sainz comes over to cover off Verstappen, almost pushing him into the pit wall, but he might have to yield this, does make the move around the outside and stays ahead. Sergio Perez now challenging down the inside. Hamilton's dropped a place or 2, and he's now tackling with Charles Leclerc. It's Carlos Sainz out in front, down the inside. Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez make contact. Sainz from Perez, then from Verstappen, then Leclerc, then comes Sergio Perez and Lewis Hamilton, and Lando Norris now going wheel to wheel with the Mercedes. Sainz into Brooklands he goes. Leclerc tries to go around the outside of Max Verstappen, and it goes off the track in the process.
That's the second time they made contact in this lap alone. A much better restart then for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton unlucky that he got put back into his original grid slot, and he's side by side through Woodcote.
He was side by side, he's now behind Lando Norris. As into Cops we go, there is damage to that front wing of Sergio Perez Red Bull, and quite severe damage too. And now towards Maggots and Beckett's we go. Hamilton is behind Lando Norris in 6th, then comes Gasly, Alonso, Latifi and Tsunoda. Perez leading Norris, leading Hamilton around Brooklands and into Luffield. Now is Hamilton poised to strike back at Lando Norris.
Then they need to clear Perez. Perez will be slow with this damaged front wing. He'll lose a good dozen seconds if they have to change that. And you can see on the right hand side, that then affects the airflow all the way down the side of the car. And so it doesn't energize the under tray as well. So Perez will be losing downforce all round, particularly at the front.
So we lost the right side end plate, front end plate, missing 5 points.
Perez now comes into the pits. That frees up the McLaren and the Mercedes.
He has to come in and get that fixed.
Right, DRS for Hamilton, not for Norris this time around. Hamilton gaining on Norris, and as we get into Brooklands by the BRDC clubhouse, you can hear the cheers as one British driver overtakes another, and Hamilton's up to 4th. Sergio Perez with the fastest lap. Trouble for Sergio Perez, he's 36 seconds behind your race leader Carlos Sainz at the moment, but after a change of tyres onto the mediums, going very nicely indeed. He got damage on his front wing after tangling with Charles Leclerc. I think Leclerc bashed him onto it twice. Ooh! Carlos Sainz going off onto the grass there. I thought he'd recovered it, but he hadn't recovered it sufficiently. Verstappen sees the error by Carlos Sainz and swoops into the lead at the start of the Hangar Straight. Verstappen, the championship leader, now ahead of Carlos Sainz, and the Ferrari, whether it was caught out by an errant gust of wind here at Silverstone or not, well, it was vulnerable at the start of that straight. Sainz could do nothing to keep Verstappen at bay. Let's just see what happened with the 2 AlphaTauris here. Whoa! Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly rather tripping over each other.
Synchronized spinning.
And not to any great effect. Tsunoda on the inside of Pierre Gasly, and both AlphaTauris having the misfortune there, tumbling down the order.
Now Ferrari need to either say stop fighting and get off after Verstappen as fast as you can, or swap them around. They need to make that decision very early on.
Because the more they leave it, the longer Max Verstappen has to build more of an advantage out in front.
Verstappen's very slow. Very
he's
slow.
gone off the track, or he's got a problem with the car, because Carlos Sainz, who 2 laps ago lost the lead to Max Verstappen, is now going to retake the lead, and a crowd absolutely loving that.
Puncher, we think puncher.
And you can see a massive lock up there as he comes into the pit lane. The cheers of the crowd for the 2 Ferraris, who are now running 1 and 2, and Ted's down to the pit lane.
It's actually quite close to the pit lane, so it's done. The tyres look inflated, but I think that's the sidewall actually doing, keeping them, making them look inflated. A good stop, and he's away again.
Can confirm it's bodywork damage and lots of rear. It is not critical, so you are able to continue, but you will move forwards.
Last lap from Verstappen was 0.8 of a second slower than this man, Carlos Sainz, your race leader. We'll be back with Ted Kravitz in a few moments' time, because there's the DRS, that gap in the rear wing, opening once more for Charles Leclerc. Into Stowe they go, separated by about 4 car lengths.
Don't forget Lewis Hamilton in this. He's got the gap down to 4.8 to Charles Leclerc now. Faster last time around as well as the 2 Ferraris. They can't start squabbling too much. Hamilton has very much got them in his sights.
I was just about to say, the longer this goes on for Ferrari, the more it just affects the lap times by 3-4 tenths of a second, whilst they're both worried about either defending or trying to gain a lead. And Hamilton's just set a new fastest lap of the race, and he was 4 tenths of a second quicker than Carlos Sainz on lap 15. Should Ferrari want to pit Charles Leclerc now, he's pretty much in undercut territory, where he comes in, gets a fresher set of tyres, does a storming out lap, and by the time Carlos Sainz reacts, Leclerc is ahead. So after that round of pit stops,
I will come back to you.
Yeah, it's nuts now. So Carlos Sainz is having to weave to keep his teammate behind him. They're going to pick Sainz this lap, so that's their solution to it, is to box and to cover off against an undercut, an early pit stop from the Mercedes, and it also releases Leclerc. Now we'll see what Leclerc's pace is. He needs to get on with it now after all that radio chat.
Sainz has picked up the pace a little bit. It might be that Leclerc is now not a free pit stop ahead of his teammate, but look at this. He is barely a second clear of Lewis Hamilton. The gap now, as they go through Stowe, is down to less than a second.
Leclerc pits and Hamilton leads the Grand Prix. If Lewis has got some time in his pocket, some lap time in his pocket, he can grab himself an undercut here on both Ferraris, but he's going to have to pump in some spectacular laps.
On a set of hard tyres that is not yielding and offering much grip to those that are running it in the early stages of a stint. That aside, Lewis Hamilton now leads the British Grand Prix.
So we are right on top of the pit window from Hamilton.
Yeah, so what does that mean? Do they let Charles Leclerc past, or Charles Leclerc wants to know, am I expected to overtake him?
Yeah, if Lewis pitted now, he'd come out right in the middle of this battle. He'd be right there.
Carlos Sainz letting Charles Leclerc past, and Leclerc getting the DRS as well to help him make that move very seamlessly indeed.
He's in the pits.
He is. Ted Kravitz down to you.
Sorry to disappoint you all. It would have been great to put the soft tyre on and really go for it, but it's the offset. Oh no, that's a bit slow. A little bit slow. Was in the front left. The rear seemed okay, but there was a little bit of a delay at the front of the car.
Into Abbey, the 2 Ferraris out in front again. Daniel Ricciardo has it's down towards the rear, has been lapped, and Lewis Hamilton behind him.
Yeah, and the slow pit stop, unfortunately, that's the difference. Instead of coming out amongst the Ferraris, he's ended up a reasonable chunk behind, albeit with pressure. Hard compound tyres on.
I tell you what, Esteban Ocon's losing out here. He's been overtaken by Verstappen, he's been overtaken by Schumacher, he's going to be overtaken by Magnussen as well. He has got problems, Esteban Ocon.
I have a problem, guys. I can't exit the corners.
I'll tell you what, if he stops here, we'll get at least a virtual safety car.
Yes, we do have a safety car here at Silverstone, because Esteban Ocon has stopped on the old pit straight. And you know how I said things were starting to come to Lewis Hamilton? Well, add this one to the list of opportunities opening up.
To be fair to Lewis, yeah, we got a double pit stop under the safety car to get some cheap pit stops to put the soft tyres on, presumably.
Well, you would think so, yes. So in comes Carlos Sainz, in comes Lewis Hamilton. Charles Leclerc stays out.
Leclerc kept his position on Stowe corner by being all 4 wheels off the road as well.
And this is where Hamilton gets forced off the track. He does go all off the track. Perez left him no space there whatsoever to stay on the track, and in doing so, Hamilton goes off and then Leclerc zips through.
I don't have a problem with Perez there in that particular corner. That's pretty much the racing line out there.
Sergio Perez is going faster than Carlos Sainz, but he's 3.5 seconds back. So you wonder, can he hold on? There goes Hamilton round the outside at Brooklands. No, can't get past there, but he forces Charles Leclerc wide, and now through Lovefield, he's just inching ahead, urged on by the crowd, the roars of the crowd, willing Hamilton back onto the podium, and he does move up into third place. Can he hold that position though, going into Cobbs? They're going side by side, Leclerc and Hamilton through Cobbs. Wow, what great drama, what great entertainment, and there is Charles Leclerc still ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
Mega bravery from the pair of them, and full respect for how they kept the car under control through there. And Leclerc will not give up, despite his tyres.
He might have to now though, because Hamilton's a lot closer, and DRS finally helping Hamilton get ahead and potentially stay ahead. And you can hear the roars of the crowd, whatever colour caps they're wearing. They are loving one British driver excelling against another, this time from Monaco, who's also excelling, but is also now under huge pressure from Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, and Lando Norris. Lando Norris is right in there as well as Leclerc struggles for grip.
These contenders all fighting for the maximum points they can get, whilst Verstappen has a bad day at the office, and that is brilliant. Car control from both Leclerc and from Hamilton. That's how you take Cobbs.
That was very brave indeed.
Brave and precise and absolutely exhilarating.
As Carlos Sainz said, just a few hundred meters to go.
So in Canada 2 weeks ago, a man making his 150th start won from pole position. Here at Silverstone, a fortnight later, a man making his 150th start from pole position is going to take victory, and for the first time